Hi guys, so initially I was gonna make this video at another time, but I just decided to go ahead and do it because why not? I already have my camera set up. So anyways, the topic today is gonna be on ENFPs. This is a type that I feel is really compatible with INFJs and friendships. So I kind of just want to talk about ENFPs, my experience with them, and why I think INFJs can be drawn to ENFPs sometimes. So, after I took the Myers-Briggs test, like I stated in my previous INFJ story video, I became so nerdy in Myers-Briggs and personality typing that I ended up getting like a bunch of my friends to take this test. And what ended up happening was that I found out that the majority of the friends that I got to take my test, to take the Myers-Briggs test, were like 6 to 7 of them typed as ENFPs. And it was really weird because these were all very close friends of mine. 4 or 5 of the girls are like the girls I consider my best friends, and they all typed ENFP. So this really got me thinking because, you know, I was drawn to those two ENFPs without even knowing it or knowing why. And, you know, I didn't know that my friends were ENFPs until after they took the Myers-Briggs. So I just thought it was really interesting how many ENFPs were in my life. And so it's really funny how you can be drawn to a type and become really good friends with them and not even know what their type is. But yeah, there's a lot of things I really like about ENFPs. I don't really see myself having romantic relationships with ENFPs. I mean, potentially I could have some type of romantic attraction to ENFPs, but for the most part, I tend to be drawn to them as friends. One of my best friends from grade school typed as an ENFP, and I don't know what it is about ENFPs. I think they just make INFJs feel comfortable. There's something about ENFP where I just feel like they understand me. They're one of the few types that I feel that get me as a person. And I don't know if other INFJs feel this way about ENFPs, but there tends just to be this like effortless chemistry, effortless knowing of each other, understanding each other, that I have found to be the case with INFJs and ENFPs. I think the main thing that attracts an INFJ to an ENFP is that INFJs are NI-DOM and ENFPs are NE-DOM, and the combination of those two functions are very compatible, and there seems to be a lot of chemistry between NI and NE. Whenever I meet any DOM people, I'm instantly drawn to them without even knowing their type. So I just found it really interesting that my whole life I've been drawn to different ENFPs and had no idea that they were ENFPs. But I don't know, ENFPs are really cool. One of the things I like about ENFPs is that we are able to just talk about things for hours. Topics that a lot of people might not normally find interesting, I'm able to just like go off on with ENFPs. And they're so enthusiastic and so full of inspiration and full of life that they're just really fun people to be around for me. ENFPs tend to really draw out my silly side. They really pull out different characteristics of me and different personalities of me as an INFJ that I find really nice. So ENFPs kind of help me get out of my shell. If I go to a party or some kind of event or a group of people, which like I say to my other video, I try to avoid, but if I go, I usually want my ENFP friend to come with me because they kind of just relax me. They kind of just, they intuitively know what my needs are sometimes, as far as like if I've had enough extroversion time. They kind of just like look out for me in a sense as an INFJ, which I find really protective. But also I feel like an INFJ really helps balance out ENFP. it's really funny because all of my really close ENFP friends, whenever there's something that they're trying to figure out, or a problem, or like something where they're trying to decipher through many choices or options, they always call me. And it's really funny, like, and they'll call me and they'll tell me like all these different choices and options and situations, and then I will kind of just sift through all of these things and help them come to a conclusion and a point of action to where they're able to make a decision on something. And I found that our relationship between each other, we really kind of help each other in that way. ENFPs kind of help draw me out, and I kind of help ENFPs stay grounded, and I kind of help, they give me all their NE observations, and I kind of can look at all of those observations and kind of narrow them down to a single point. So whenever an ENFP friend of mine is making like a big decision or needs advice, they tend to always call me, and it's really funny because they will like talk to me on the phone for like an hour, tell me all this different stuff, and somehow I'm able just to sift through it all and say, okay, this is what you want, this is what's happening, this is what I see, and they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, oh my gosh, yes. And I don't know, it's really funny. So yeah, there's just a cool dynamic between ENFPs and INFJs. They're very lively, they're very inspirational. I find ENFPs to be very inspiring, and as a creative person, I like to be around ENFPs because they kind of help me, they help me loosen up, but they also help me stay inspired. And INFJs are very passionate, so I think ENFPs, I don't know, they inspire us in different ways, and they just get us. There's just this intuitive thing between us that we don't have to even say anything, and we know exactly what the person is thinking. I've been in situations with my best friends where we'll be somewhere and we'll start like cracking up about something, and unless you're an NE or an NI Dom in the room, you have no idea what we're laughing about because it's very intuitive. There's almost like this unspoken language between an INFJ and an ENFP where it's just like this back and forth dialogue without words. And it's really cool. It's like we just know what's going on. I don't know. They're fun to be around because of that intuitive language. And I find this to be the case also with ENTPs, which I'm going to probably make another video on ENTPs because it's another whole subject in itself. But I don't know, I just find that I laugh the most with ENFPs. They crack me up. Like, I have a very like quirky, weird sense of humor that not necessarily anyone would get, but ENTPs and ENFPs tend to get it. So yeah, it's just weird. It's weird how you're drawn to certain people without knowing it, and there is really a lot of truth to MBTI in regards to that, or at least it has been for me. I know it says in MBTI that ENFPs and ENTPs tend to be the most compatible with INFJs, and for whatever reason for me, as far as friendships, I have 6 ENFP friends. So it's just, to me, it's mind-boggling the psychology that goes into MBTI, and yeah, it's fascinating to me. So I don't know, ENFPs are awesome. They help draw me out. They get me to go to parties that I don't want to go to, and somehow I get talked into it by them. They kind of spark the adventure spirit in me. And I think all INFJs, there's this very adventure side that we want to experience. And so types that kind of bring that out in us or kind of take us along on their adventures, we really appreciate, because as much as we are introverts and want to kind of be a hermit, we also desire to experience things and to go on adventures. And I think ENFPs kind of do that. And the nice thing about ENFPs is that they're not the type that is super, super extroverted like an ESFJ or like an ENTJ or an ENFJ, the types that tend to be very, very extroverted. ENFPs are a little bit more mellow in their extroversion, which I find a nice balance for me. They don't drain me as much as some other types. They're enough introverted to where like we could go out with a big group of people, but then me and the ENFP could come home and sit on the couch for hours and watch movies, and they can also be alone too. They don't have, I mean, they primarily like to be around people, ENFPs, but they can also chill back and be alone and kind of just relax. So as a friend, they tend to be great for me because we can have movie marathons, or they can come over, and they really like one-on-one as well, and they like depth. And so for an INFJ, they tend to keep our interests in conversation. We don't tend to get bored with ENFPs because they're also very much concerned with the abstract world, and INFJs are very much concerned with the abstract and the unknown, and ENFPs like to go there with us. For a lot of types, I find that my conversation is overbearing, or that I might come across as weird. So with ENFPs, I find that they just get it. They don't think I'm weird, which is great. So yeah, there's probably more I could say on ENFPs. I have quite a few friends that are ENFPs, so I'm gonna try to get them to actually do a video with me, and kind of an interaction, kind of question type video, so you can kind of see the dynamic between us. But yeah, that is it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.